Hello, it's Bishop Mark. Today is Luke chapter 3, verses 10 to 15. You see, I'm back in my usual spot. And today we'll continue in the desert with John, verses 15. Now the people were filled with expectation, and all were asking in their hearts whether John might be the Messiah. Is John the Messiah? No. John's whole life is to say the Messiah is coming. But the people saw him and heard his teaching and were moved by it, and so they were asking, maybe John's the Messiah. Even though John's saying, the Messiah is coming, people are saying, maybe John's the Messiah. But John answered them. Here it goes. John answered them all, saying, I am baptizing you with water. One mightier than I is coming. So we know that John's baptism was different than the baptism that we have in our church today, which is a sacrament. John's baptism was a ritual. It was a sign of making a commitment. So the people would come out and they would say this, they would reform our lives, and as a sign of that, they were washed in the waters of baptism. Whereas today, baptism is a different thing. It's a sacrament. It has grace to it, and God gives us the Holy Spirit. So the baptism of today is different. And John knows this. And he says, I'm baptizing with water. But one mightier than I is coming. He says, I'm not worthy to loosen the thongs of his sandals. In other words, John is saying, listen, I'm not the Messiah. I'm just the one telling you the Messiah is coming. And he is so much mightier and greater than I am that I'm not even worthy to take off his shoes, to loosen the thong of his sandals. He's just, I'm not it. He's greater than I am, is what he's saying. He will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and fire, says John. So the Holy Spirit we know about. That's how baptism happens today. The fire for John is that Jesus was going to take the world and set it on fire. In other words, he was going to really change the world and be mighty, and you won't be able to stop him. This is what John's vision of the Messiah is. He has no idea what the Messiah will be, who the Messiah will be, he had no idea. Okay. His winnowing fan is in his hand to clear his threshing floor and to gather the wheat in his barn, but the chaff he will burn with unquenchable fire. So he's using an image of growing wheat. Now, wheat has a stem and then it has the wheat on the end, right? And you get rid of the stuff that you're not able to eat, and you keep the stuff that you are able to eat. So he's using an image of his day. It's like you would say, you eat the corn on the cob, you don't eat the cob. Well, this is what he's saying. So the wheat has to be separated from the whole plant. And the wheat's useful, we eat it, we turn it into bread, but the rest of it's just thrown out. So it's an image for John of what Jesus will do. He will save the good and throw out the bad. He's talking about people. That's how John envisions the Messiah, that he will separate the good from the bad. Okay. Exhorting them in many other ways, he preached good news to the people. So John spent a lot of time in the desert, and he just kept telling them, Messiah is coming, the Messiah is coming. Change your lives, change your lives. Okay. Now, Herod the Tetrarch, who had been censured by him because of Herodias, his brother's wife. Okay, let's stop there. So we know that Herod was the Roman representative of that era. There was a Herod before him, the Herod at the time of Jesus' birth. He died. He separated that area into 4. And Herod, the Tetrarch, which means separated into 4, was the ruler in that area where John was. But Herod, his name is Herod Antipas, that was his full name. Herod Antipas kind of pretended he was a Jew. His father had rebuilt the temple, and he took on some Jewish practices, but he really wasn't a practicing Jew. And one of the things he'd done is he married unlawfully, like against the Jewish law, and to a woman who was called Herodias. She changed her name probably when she got married to him, so it was Herod and Herodias. And John started to get into politics. He didn't say, the Holy Spirit is coming, so some of you should change your lives. The Messiah is coming. He said, everyone should change their lives, including you, Herod, the leader, who are married to Herodias and you shouldn't be. So Herod was John was getting into dangerous territory. Let's see what happened, unfortunately. Because of all the evil deeds he had committed. So let's read that again. Now Herod the Tetrarch, who had been censured by him because of Herodias, that's the wife, his brother's wife, and because of all the evil deeds Herod had committed, added still another to these by also putting John in prison. So John was unafraid, preached to everybody. But when he started getting into talking about the problems of Herod and Herodias, Herod put him in jail. Poor John now is in jail. And that's where we stop now. In the next time, Jesus will reappear and will start his ministry as an adult. Peace to you.